All right, so there's a couple things I want to go over. So jumping into your calls from last week,
Okay.
majority of your calls, you're continuing the process of developing the value-based selling. I
Mhm.
do like that. Now, what we have to do, Sam, is we've got to start getting a little bit of conversion. And last week, there's a couple things that I got to bring up to you. So first off, on Friday, you had a conversation with Stacy about the Jeremy leads. The Jeremy leads were completely dropped and forgot about.
Okay.
What happened?
I I got caught up on other stuff and just they didn't.
So what were you doing that was like that's keeping you so busy? Are you accidentally putting yourself behind the eight ball? Like, are you doing other stuff and losing track of time and now playing catch up? Like, walk me through why you're so busy.
Last week in particular, it was, for example, just leads. I kept getting stuff brought to me. No idea what they were. No idea.
Who's bringing these things to you?
Amber was. This was last week in particular. Amber just. She'd bring me 6 leads, hand them to me, and I wouldn't know if they were Jeremy leads, my leads, your leads, if they'd been ETN, put an MVP. I had no freaking clue.
Fair enough. How long does it take you to research one of those leads in that scenario?
It wasn't that long. Like, eventually I was able to get it, but, like, I had, like...
Well, think about that for a second. You know, sometimes we think we're really, really busy, and we might not be as busy as we think. If Amber brings you 6 leads, as intelligent as you are, and as well as you know this system, there's no way it takes you more than 3 minutes to figure it out.
No, I'm not saying that was the only thing that was behind last week. There was also...
I understand. That's a good example.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put a normal workload as like being overly busy. We're always going to have stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're always going to have opportunities to continue to, either wrap up leads, finish ETM, do this. Our workload's never going to change. We're always going to have work that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't have work that needs to be done, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing, because you got to keep in mind, dude, the payroll dollars we have X amount of payroll dollars. If we don't get a lift from the payroll dollars, we can't afford payroll.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if we don't have anything to do, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing.
Okay.
So we have to stay busy. We have to have production the entire time. So I know we've had this conversation before in the past, but I want you to write down priorities. When you're doing something, if this comes up, things that you drop what you're doing to do. Your priority 1, any sale or anything related to a sale. If you're doing something for me, if you're doing something for Jeremy, unless he specifically told you otherwise, I guarantee Jeremy doesn't give you anything to do if you're in the midst of trying to close a sale.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So sale is your number 1 priority. I know Stacy said that she went over something with you about how to do something through Bristol West. You should be key to close, and
Mm-hmm.
she checked a couple hours later, and you hadn't even called the client yet. Have a sense of urgency.
Okay.
Have a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
If it's sales related, Sam, I need this to be on fire hot.
Okay.
You understand? Potential fires. Anything that you see that you think could turn into a bee's nest or a fire or blow up on us,
Mm-hmm.
you need to stop me. You need to stop Stacy and say, hey, guys, I think this is going to be an issue if we don't get this addressed.
Okay.
And then the other would just be notes. Like, make sure notes are delivered in a timely and orderly fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me and Jeremy somebody might get, for a lack of a better word, just flat out pissed off because we haven't got back to them because you got busy, forgot to deliver us a note, went to lunch, came back, whatever
Mm-hmm.
the case may be. 3 hours has passed when we had a window we could have called.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then the other thing is asking for time off. I know you and I have been talking about it for 2 weeks, right? How many times did I tell you I don't want it the week of?
Yeah, I meant to send it on Friday.
But I mean, it was because Sam, that's not that much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, convey. So, like, my wife and I, my parents, my in-laws, they know if they want me to be present for a family event, I need a date and I need it sent to me, or I'm not going.
Okay.
I mean, that's the business we're in. If you don't give me a date, you don't give me the 2 weeks that I require, I'm not going. Mom, I'm not going. Dad, I'm not going. In-laws, I'm not going. Wife. They all know to deliver that to me. If they can't get it, well, then fuck it, I can't go.
Okay.
Magically, when you have that mentality, they'll get you a date and time.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get you a date and time.
Okay.
You're important here, okay? When you're not here, you've reached the point to where we hit to plan around you a little bit.
Okay.
Because now we got to reschedule leads. We got to move shit around, stuff like that. So it's not a bad deal if we're completely fully staffed, which we are. But at the end of the day, I need to be able to net. You're an important part of our team.
Mm-hmm.
I can't plan correctly if I only have 4 days notice.
Okay.
Telling me 2 weeks ago you might be taking off a Friday coming up. Friday coming up. Now it's here. Dude, you can go. You can have it. No problem. I'm not going to have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But if this happens again, I'm not approving it.
Okay. I understand.
You just won't go.
I understand.
All right. And then let's talk about the course of the day. What are you doing that's occupying the majority of your time right now?
Let's see. I get in, print out all the leads, normally get started on running leads. Normally I like to call depending on how many I have.
Now, 2 weeks, no, I'd say about 2 months ago, you and I had this conversation. We run 5 leads, we call 5 leads.
That's what I'm doing.
We're doing that?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like you're running 10 and calling 10.
Nope. I just called. I had 6, but one of them was a PO box, so I couldn't run it. So
Okay. All right. So you're running 5. You're calling 5.
I'm running 5, calling 5.
Okay.
I'm doing that.
Jeremy had a really good idea, and we're doing this moving forward.
Okay.
Instead of you running 5, calling 5, run 1, call 1. Run 1, call 1. Here's why.
Okay.
If you're in the household, everything's already up and fresh in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can put it in a DYL, and you can put it into MVP.
Okay.
Right then and there. You already got it up. That way you don't have to close out of it, do something else, and then go back into it later. You can get everything done on one stop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think that will help. Also, too, it'll help like the speed on the calling. Your call activity is great, Tim. I mean, you'll knock out a bunch of calls in a quick amount of time. But at the end of the day, we're only getting like 70 calls. You know what I'm saying? Like you're our workhorse on that. We should have you at like 100 calls, 150 calls. Our goal is to have you doing 5 to 7 pitches a day. Our goal for Shayla is 5 to 7 pitches a day. Now, granted, there's going to be times to where we give you other stuff that we need your help with. You're not going to be able to hit that.
Mm-hmm.
But then your day shouldn't be so full to where you can't do at least a couple hours worth of calling. Now, tell me if I'm wrong.
No. Well, I am doing, so normally I'll run the leads call. That's from like 9 to 11:30, depending on who picks up, how many pitches. And then after that, normally it's you guys are helping move stuff, helping Natalie run Jeremy leads, ETMs when it comes later in the week. And then
Are you talking too much over there? Is that what's going on?
no, it's just
I could watch you here. I'm not watching here.
mm-hmm.
My first week having you over there, I get complaints that you're starting to get behind. You can't help. You can't do shit.
Last week was just literally the stuff was coming. We were working with other people trying to help that. Mike came in, was trying to watch me do ETMs, wanted me to explain stuff. Friday, honestly, a big chunk of Friday, I got stuck trying to run a business quote for like 45 minutes an hour because I had no idea what I was doing.
But that's your second quote.
That was my first business.
No, it isn't. I had you run one.
No, I told you I didn't know how to do it.
I was over there with you. We did it together.
I don't remember this. I don't know when you.
All right, well, that's fair enough, but
I basically stumbled my way through for 45 minutes to an hour trying to figure out this quote for Jeremy.
okay.
So.
All right, well, do you know how to do it now?
I have a general idea.
Well, just so you know, that stumble you did,
mm-hmm.
I did. Jeremy did.
That's what he said.
Stacy's done.
I'm appreciative.
We've all
like,
done that. You
like,
gotta kind of.
It was definitely kind of put me off. I was just like frustrated. Like I don't know what any of this crap is.
Neither do we.
So, but
everything that we do, Sam,
mm-hmm.
we learn the way you're learning it.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an open mind. Don't shut down and be like, I can't do anything else. This is too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. Growth occurs when you're out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Growth occurs when you're out of your comfort zone. Got to get out of your comfort zone. You
got
got to stay out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Because, Sam, for me to get you to where you want to be, do you want to make 30 grand in the rest of your life? No. You want to make more than that, right? How do I do that, Sam? I got to get you selling. I got to get you producing. Like I said, we know and we've known all along that this is the long game we're playing with you, and we're fine with that. Your work ethics, quality, we need to keep your work ethic up here. We need to keep your production up here. And then we can get our sales up here. And then when we start to have that list in, that's a whole fun new conversation. But I mean, think about it right now. Think about it from a business perspective. We're paying your monthly salary. On that monthly salary, we're buying leads that aren't free. They're expensive leads. We're buying the leads. So with your payroll, with the leads, with the production and sales difference, how much are you bringing in a month in sales?
No.
Not a lot. So if you look at it from a business perspective, you cost this. The leads cost this. You're producing this. See what I'm saying? So I'm saying it's okay. We understand. We're playing the long game with you. You're a solid and amazing part of our team. But we just got to get your production. And when I mean production, I mean your sales. Keep a good, healthy mentality. Stay balanced. Stay focused. Put yourself in positions to where you win, not to where you battle and lose. Okay? Prime example. That day I'm asking for a day off. I should have not even had to browbeat you on something like that. Because I told you about that. There's no need for me to do that. Be the exemplary employee I know you can be. Okay? Otherwise, Sam, you take out the trash. You do a great job with conversation. I mean, dude, you're kind of our, Swiss Army knife. But we just got to make you a sharper Swiss Army knife. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. What do you got for me?
Not a whole lot. Running leads. I'll go call the 3 that I ran.
Good.
Other than that, really, this afternoon, I don't think I had too much. Natalie got me her accent list from last week that she forgot to get me. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll send Amber.
If people are missing stuff that puts you behind, that's stuff that needs to go on my radar.
Well, I collected everyone's. I thought, and then Natalie brought it in this morning. I didn't even realize because I had 60-something. It was a full sheet.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, Friday was a bit weird just because I was trying to get caught up on ETMs.
I wasn't here. Natalie was out.
And then I had to run my business quote. That did put me off kilter because I was like already trying to catch up and I haven't spent an hour doing that. I'm like, I'm now really behind.
Now think about this. You were catching. What you were mainly upset about was you now had something that you knew would take longer because you're not proficient at it. And you're playing catch up. What could we have done earlier in the week to where you weren't behind?
I think last week it was particularly because really it was just last week with 2 new people starting. Amber was coming in asking questions. Mike came in and asked questions. Like 4 or 5 times a day, she'd come in with a handful of leads. So it took me off of that.
Well, that's why, Amber being in the office is helpful at times, but sometimes it can be a little difficult. So, hold on one second. Okay, so what I really want you to do right now, run it, call it immediately. Run the lead, call the lead. Do your DYL, do your MVP. I don't want you to have to go back into the lead into your second round of calling. Make sense?
I can do that.
Okay. Priorities. What's the most important?
Sales.
Okay. Why is it the most important?
That's what I need to be doing to begin with.
Well, because it helps offset all the expenses we have associated with your payroll dollars. Okay? Asking for time off. How much time do I need?
2 weeks.
What happens if I don't get it?
I don't get it.
All right. And communication. Make sure we have clear communication.
Yep.
Okay? On leads, on if you are now taking over a responsibility that you don't normally have, whatever the case is, we got to get that done.
Okay.
All right?
This is a normal week, all things considered, so I should be good.
Good. I need to get more pitches with you because I can't pitch you unless I get you pitching. So I need 5 to 7 pitches. 70 calls is getting the job done. You're averaging 70 calls. I pulled the last 5 days prior to Friday, and you were at 70. That's what your average is. I need you over 70. I need you to up it to 100, 125 if need be because I need to get you pitching. I need 5 to 7 pitches so I can fix your pitch. I guarantee I can get you selling.
Okay.
Hear me. I guarantee I can get you selling. But I can't do it if you're only pitching 1 or 2 a day. I need
All
5 to 7 pitches a day.
Okay.
If I can get you to 5 to 7, Sam, that's going to put us on a really good path.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
All right. See ya.